we're asked to take either the data which I've used for the Pro Lab Assignment 1 or take up a new data. But as of now, I'll use the same data, which is the FIFA 20 players data, which contains the information about all the football players who've been playing right now, along with the rating, their age, their preferred food, their nationality, club, and there's a lot of information over there. And I use the same data even for this project. And on top of that, I've used the Python server, which is I use Flask for that. And for the front end, it's a whole dependent on D3 and the basic HTML along with JavaScript. And coming to the task one, we are asked to compute the eigenvectors of the piece using PCA of the data and use these values and visualize them onto a scree plot. For that, this is how I build that. On top of here, if you see, these are the for each dimension. Like right now, I have like around 10 numerical values because we are asked to build a scree plot for only for numerical features. Some around 10 numerical features, and this is the eigenvalues for each. If you can see, uh, the variance ratio increases and it tends to 1 as we increase the dimensions. But on top of that, we can get a lot of information from the scree plots too. If you see, this curve tends to having a slope 0 as we reach more and more dimensions. Like if you take for the sixth, I think this is the most optimum dimension where we can get most of the information and leaving out the rest dimensions and computing the process of whatever the data what we want to visualize in a much easier way. And for the second part, we are asked to come up with an interaction element on the screen plot so that they can select the number of dimensions. Over here, I've added the circles over here and the bars over here. And if you select any dimension, we'll load the PCA with these number of dimensions. Why we need these dimensions will come up in the next part. But right now, this is the whole user interaction element which I've added for this script plot, where based on selecting, we can highlight this keeps being highlighted, and we'll calculate the PCA loadings in the next step. On top of that, we're asked to come up with a PCA-based plot. Uh, PCA-based plot doesn't depend on the number of components because while plotting on a two dimension, we could take the components as two for sure. So I've taken all the features, which are the numerical features over here, and I've taken the PCA plot, and I plotted the whole eigenvalues along with the scattered data on top of that. So this is the plot which I have built. Then coming to the task 2, we are asked to use the PCA component with the DI which is selected over here in the script plot, for example this, and calculate the top 4 attributes which are having the highest PCA loadings. So after calculating the PCA, basically what I've taken is to take the squared sum of that, so that basically the squared sum, which of the features having the squared sum, the components which are having higher value of that, the variance ratio, they are they have the features which have the highest PCA loadings. So on top of that, for different dimensions selected, the attributes keep on changing. And if you can observe after the sixth one, which I've mentioned before, I think the slope tends to be 0. You can get most of the information from these 4 features because these things tend to not change after even increase the next dimension. These still almost stay the same. Let's go with the six dimension PCA right now. And after that, using these 4 attributes, we're asked to construct a scatter plot matrix. So once we click on that, what happens is the scatter matrix gets shown over here on below. Basically, the whole y-axis is shown on the left side, and the x-axis labels are shown in the downside. And these are built based on the descending order of the features based on the PCA loadings. Uh, and on top of that, these things initially don't show up, but if you see, the whole thing is blind. And once you click on the user interaction, over here, these things come up dynamically. And if you change on the values, these things change and these also change. If you change over here, these things also change. So this is the whole part of the task 1 and task 2. Yeah, and task 2, we're asked to cluster these points on the scatter matrix using k-means. So initially, when I have loaded the whole data set, I have used the k-means and clustered all the data points based on the whole elbow curve and all. So I have found optimal cluster of number 4, 4 clusters, and I use that for coloring all the data points in the scatter matrix and in future tasks too. So once we are done this, we will let me go to the task 3. Here we asked to consider MDS plot first using the Euclidean distance, and we are told we can use these libraries too. So just for the MDS plot using the Euclidean distance, I've just loaded with 2 components for showing it in a 2-dimension thing, and I loaded the entire data set which is around 600 for right now, And I showed the enter data set of like character the Euclidean distance, which is the default feature of an MDS component of this library. And I plotted the whole labels, like the points which I've got an output of that, and showed it onto these two dimensions. And after that, we're asked to like color them again back with the cluster ID. So the whole k-means part, like the clustering part, is done in the start itself when I've like loaded the data set, and I've applied the k-means on that in the start itself. So the whole set of data points still have the same clustering ID, and I use the same IDs for over here like to cluster the data. And if you see over here, the clustering is like pretty evident, like how the data is like shown over here, like they are like pretty clustered out, and the whole coloring like seem to be coming together instead of like whole jumbled up thing. So the clustering is done like well proper in the whole initial step itself. And on top of that, we're asked to like come up with a new MDS plot where we are computing the whole distance between the distance, like it's a pre-computed distance, which is one minus the correlation. For this, what happened, like this, we are asked to show this for the variables again. So I calculated the correlation for all three data points, and on top of that, I got a 10 by 10 matrix, and I sent that to the MDS, and basically with two dimensions to show it on a 2D plot. Once I've got that, like this is the like whole set of variables which I've taken. This is the 10 numerical variables. So once I've shown over here, so basically you can see the whole correlated each variable, like each feature is with the other one. So this is the whole fund of this whole one minus correlation distance, and using this MDS plot, we can see how correlated like each feature is the other. Next, the task 4, like we're asked to like come up with the parallel coordinates plot, like, and we're asked to show this for all data dimensions, like which including the categorical and numerical. So over here, we're asked to show over here. These are the like whole set of features which I have. And like if you see this like body type, the team position, like even the skill moves, like just like it is a number, but since there are like only five, I've taken it as a categorical variable again. And the rest of the features are like numerical. So this whole PCP plot shows like for each data point, like how the data is like varying from one person to other, like from one data point to other. That's how like this PCP plot comes up in here, gives a bigger picture. This might be useful in like in the data like number of categorical variable, like the number of values in a categorical variables are pretty less, because or else like this looks like a must cluster thing, and if the data is pretty less, like it's better to show it in a PCB plot compared to the others. But if the data is more, I think we can go for the other set of visualizations. And on top of that, we are asked for like coming, we need to come up with a meaningful access ordering by using the like giving the user the interaction method. So over here, like what happened, like given the template, given the professor, like based on that, I built the whole code on myself, and I've showed the things over here. Like you can like move the axis, like the feature from one left to right or right to left again. So based on that, like you can like move the data from like a feature from here to here, and if you want to compare, for example, maybe if you want to compare the team position with the overall rating over here, so I can move this thing, this team position over here, and you can like compare like what's the team overall rating and where those people generally go for, like how which position they generally play for. This kind of like comparisons can be like generalized, like a overall summary can be brought up from the PCP plot over here. So the user interaction element is like dragging the features from the left to right and like coming up with a better access ordering so that user can get the most information out of that. And we're also the coloring the polylines again using the cluster ID. So again, this whole point, the whole data set is like again using the k-means. I've used the clustering in the start itself. So the same thing follows even over here. So based on that, I've just colored the whole set of line like for the single data point, like this colors remains the same from like everywhere from this end to that end. And for different data points, depending on the cluster, the whole lines color of the lines still stay the same. And coming to the extra credit, we are asked like to click on the MDS plot, which is over here, like the pre-computed MDS plot, and click on a variable so that we need to like the order of the clicking of the variable should come up like should show up in the PCP plot, like how the order in which we select the variables over here. Like if we want like more correlated one, we select the variables over here, and the data related to those variables should be coming up into the PCP plot. And we are asked to come up, we build this only for the numerical values only. So what I did, like I've added like an interaction element on top of this MDS plot too, this pre-computed plot. If you click on one, like these four, as I told you, like these four are like the categorical variables, so we can't do much on that stuff. So I already added these four features into the PC plots straight away. And on top of selecting a new numerical variable, this get appended to the start. So the ordering starts from here, and these four come into the last. Like whatever ordering you select over here for the numerical features. So first I've selected the age, second I'm going for the overall. So we get a PCB plot, these four category variables and these two numerical variables. And in the click basing on the ordering, this order still remains the same. And this category variable should be in the last. So this is a extra credit which is mentioned in the assignment that we need to click on the order and the whole PCB plot should be shown in that order. So you can see the numbering of beside the each circle, like which is the each feature. You can see the how the ordering is there in the below PCB plot. So this is the whole assignment which was asked to us, and this is the whole explanation of each of the tasks which is done by me. And there's a report which is like attached will be attached in part of the folder, and the video will be also shared. Like video link will be shared in the drive link will be shared in the part of the report too. And all the interesting features or the things which are found better or the things with disadvantages of each visualizations is made as part of the report. So I think this should help for you to understand the whole project. Thank you.